Good morning everyone. This is the first video for you guys and we're going to talk about paragraph 6.1. Last Friday we were already talking about 6.1 in class, but since half of you weren't there, I thought it was smart to do it again. So if you already did this, you don't have to do it again. For the people who didn't, let's start. I've decided to split paragraph 6.1 into two parts because it's a pretty big paragraph. And in this first part, we're going to talk about calculating percentages. The first example is about calculating, for example, 21%, example 1. To try and calculate 21% of 60 euros. And to do so, we have to convert our percentage into a decimal number. And if you don't know how to do that, it's something you saw last year. If you want to go from a percentage to a decimal number, then you have to divide with 100. Also works the other way around, then you have to multiply with 100. So in this case, looking at 21%, we are going to turn it into a decimal number by dividing it with 100. So 21% is the same as 0.21. You can do that with your calculator, you can also do it without one. And then 0.21 times 60, which is, let's see, I already calculated it, 12.60 euros. Okay, let's give you one more example. Because sometimes some people turn, for example, 6% into 0.60. The thing is, 0.60 is 60% and not 6. So if you want to calculate 6% of 120, for example, then 6% becomes 0.06. So multiply with 120, and then we find that that's 7.2. Keep in mind, divide this number with 100, then you find 0.06, and then you have to multiply. Are there other ways to do this? Yes, this is just one of many ways. Then the next example, example 3. And in example 3, we have a decrease of a percentage and we want to calculate a new amount. Where do we see this a lot? For example, when you go shopping and you buy a new sweater. So let's say that there is a sweater which costs 49.95 euros. And there is a discount of, what did I come up with? 15%. Then there are two different ways of calculating the new price. I want to show you both methods. Method number 1 is somewhat similar to the previous examples. First we're going to calculate 15% of 49.95. So we turn 15% into a decimal number, which is 0.15 times 49.95, which is, if you type this into your calculator, 7.4, let's see, 925. But remember, we're talking about money, so you have to round this to two decimals, so 7.49. Since the discount is 7.49, we have to subtract that from our original price, so 49.95 minus 7.49, which is 42.46 euros. And remember, a unit. The other method, somewhat similar, but we're going to start with the percentages and subtracting them. If you get a discount of 15%, it means you have to pay 85% of the original price, because 100 minus 15 is 85%. So we want to calculate 85% of 49.95, which means 0.85 times 49.95, which is, of course, 42.4575. And since we're working with money again, we have to round it to 2 decimals, so 42.46 euros, which, luckily for us, is also the same answer we already had. So whichever method you want to use is up to you. Choose a method which you do understand. The last example has to do with an increase. This was a decrease. Example 4. If we're looking at Oostenrijk, for example, and I'm telling you that in 2010 there were 25,000 people living there, and in the last 10 years that amount increased with 4%. Then you can calculate it in 2 different ways. Again, you can calculate 4% of 25,000 first, so 0.04 times 25,000, which is just 1,000. Since it increases with 1,000, the new amount becomes 25,000 plus 1,000, which is 26 people. A different way of doing this is by adding the percentage first, like we were subtracting the percentage over there. So 100 plus 4% is 104%. And if we want to turn this into a decimal number, you get a number which is bigger than 1. So 140 divided by 100 is 1.04 times 25,000, which is 26,000. With these examples, you probably will be able to make the homework. Sometimes there are different ways of doing it. Anyway, good luck with the homework.